Hello, and welcome to a Wednesday edition of Robert versus the New York Times Crossword. Today we're going to do the Wednesday, July 10th, 2024 crosswords, and go for that 1,594-day streak. Also, for the next few days, I'll be out of town, so most likely no videos. Anyway, here's your spoiler alert for the Wednesday mini. If you'd like to play along, pause the video here, click on the link in the description below. The mini is always, free to play. Alright, let's do it. IMDb, image, Mango, Dijon, Bliss, and Eke Out. Took me a while to read this clue. The website born from its CEO's personal film diary, the Internet Movie Database. Now, of course, iconic. We've got kanji, crossing almost manga. Mango sticky rice, delicious. I like Dijon mustard also, nice. Anyway. Now for the main event, that's the Wednesday Daily Grid, which is by Hal Moore today. Here's your spoiler alert. If you'd like to play along, pause the video here, click on the link in the description below. Daily Grid does require a New York Times game subscription. I see diagonal circled squares, which, I wonder what those mean. Anyway, let's see what Hal Moore has in store for us. Let's get into it. Warts and all, as is probably Duchess of Maya, isn't it? You've convinced me. Device identifier in computing, IP address, and moment is a sec. Long easy stride is a lope. Like much Cajun chicken. Blackened, sold, and Duchess of Alba. All right, sprinkle in his ad. So we have Alps. We've got mountain ranges, like a quarter moon tide. Didn't just think. So this is new and neap tide. Prez's proxy is the Veep. Formally reject is veto. Pentagon org is Department of Defense. LSD is dropped. Lena Horn. Aerobic exercise option. Step class, maybe? Segment of this puzzle's race. It's a... No. I was gonna say, is it the Tour de France? Nuisances are pests. Pardon me. Scusi. Many stuffed cat toys are mice. Where Penobscot and Passamaquoddy live. Maine? This is Albert Camus. Typical ending point for this puzzle's race. Most reserved. Time trial. This is deep, 90 degrees. Take in is draw a breath, so this is east. Member of the genus Lepus is a hare. Tuscan red wines are Chiantis. Shyest. Oh, this is the Champs-Élysées, right? Simulu. Huskow is something. React like a starter horse, just rear up. Mailed. Sent in or something. Memories are recounted in the past tense. So the Pyrenees Mountains. Scottish John is Ian. Some whiskeys are Rise. Cooper 2 is a dyad. RXYs are MDs. Food, informally, probably it's eats. Box filled with bags. Tea chest, maybe? One eschewing rose-tinted glasses, a realist. Wounded stinger, or wound stinger. Or wound stinger? Cots and congers, yield. Ned Rorum. Chloris blank. Leechman. Went against the word. This is salt, sent to. Hard pattern to break. Vicious cycles. SARS-CoV-2 brings in his urns. Occasion is event. My remnant is an ember. A book is a libro. Mourned death. Sat Shiva, right? Zod is an act. Tony and someone's wedding. Group of 3 is a trio. Hot cocoa. Isn't it? No. Hot toddy. Okay. This is Greenwich Mean Time. 3 week by grace. Dug up. Mind. Food item. This is probably sinned. Grand tour. Caddy, Tony and Tina's wedding, Beyond. usury here, fraction of joules, and erg. How to become a whole new hue dye, and OED. This is an aid. Alright, I wasn't so sure about viand. I know viand with E means meat in French. But that's a tough... There's a couple things I wasn't sure about, actually. Didn't know Slade either. I think it would have been better to put a T here. Unless for some reason H or Slate appears somewhere else. Okay, but that's just because I don't know it. I mean, if you know the band, probably it's cool to see the band in there. And the cross is totally fine, so... Maybe Leachman is rough? Maybe if you didn't know Slade and you didn't know Leachman. Maybe this is a potential sticking point, but I'm not a big music person. Anyway, we sort of have we just have a bike race theme. Although it does seem to be, we're in Tour de France season, right? So I would call this a Tour de France puzzle. Tour de France. Let's go to the Wikipedia. I want the 2024 tour. There you go. It started on June 29th and will finish on July 21st. There's the Tour de France. Yeah. Shout out to Ball Don't Lie and Bill Boris. So yeah, you do climb the Alps and the Pyrenees in the Tour de France, right? So even if Tour de France doesn't actually appear in this puzzle, Grand Tour does. So that's it's the oldest of the 3 Grand Tours. 3 weeks with daily stages. There you go. So it's a general Grand Tour puzzle, I guess. And what I didn't notice before is that it has diagonal symmetry. And these black squares are vaguely, I think, they're vaguely supposed to evoke mountains, I think. So these things are going up mountains, you know? Ending on the Champs-Élysées. Vicious cycles, so a little wordplay. We've got time trial, we've got Grand Tour. Okay, so interesting. I mean, typical ending point. This clue explicitly is about the Tour de France. I think the Tour de France must be the only one that actually ends at the Champs-Élysées, right? Surely the Giro d'Italia does not end on the Champs-Élysées. Where does it end? Finishes in cities such as Verona, Brescia, Trieste, Turin, and Rome. So it seems like it ends in various cities in Rome. Sorry, in Italy, that makes sense. And the Vuelta a España. Start and finish the Vuelta. Madrid, 53 times, Bilbao, San Sebastian. Yeah, so it's a bit weird in that this puzzle is trying... I mean, the real answer, of course, is because Tour de France is the wrong number of letters. Or it doesn't fit the symmetry, or like was hard to grid around. So the mountains and this clue are specifically Tour de France. But the revealer here is about any one of the Grand Tours. So... yeah. This is clearly the wrong revealer for this puzzle, I'll say. The problem is that the actual revealer for this puzzle has the wrong number of letters. So honestly, it's kind of an issue in how lovely this puzzle is. Generally, these tribute puzzles, tributes to events or, you know, birthdays or whatever, the reason they seem like a bit thrown together is because oftentimes they're just like random lists of words related to some theme, right? And that is a bit what's happening here, right? Like you just take a bunch of words that are related to the Tour de France and see which ones match up in length. I mean, time trial, sure, there are time trials certainly, but not... I mean, there are other kinds of stages also, right? Champs-Élysées, vicious cycles, little pun. Like these visual depictions of the climbs up the mountains, that's pretty nice. But so that this quadrant feels sort of, like less of just words thrown together. But this puzzle suffers a bit from that, but then really suffers from the fact that the Tour de France is the wrong number of letters. It's a Tour de France puzzle without actually any mention of the Tour de France in any of the in any of the clues or in the puzzle. So I think I'll have to give it a demerit for that. But I really actually like these mountain parts. Anyway, take a look through this thing, see what we can learn. There were some difficult parts in this as well. Maybe not at the top. I did see Vito crossing Veep there. Pretty interesting. Neep Tide is classic crosswordese. We've got an Italian wine. Like where the Giro d'Italia is. Uscow. I guess it's just slang for jail, but to me it sounds like slang for like malarkey or something, right? Past tense. Yeah, again, this, maybe even Champs-Élysées. It's pretty iconic, I guess, but I think it would be better to make this not a proper noun. And it could have been easily done, but maybe Hal Moore's just a Slade fan, so I get it. Didn't know Tony and Tina's Wedding, off Broadway. It's that Shiva. It's a pretty nice film. Really wanted hot cocoa here, but I read. You could also read this as iPad dress, which is kind of funny. IP address. Scusi. So we got a lot of Italian stuff in here. Yeah, tea caddy. Yeah, beyond is hard. I think that there's a couple sticky parts here. Like I said, I know beyond an E is French for meat, but it's also made its way into English, but I don't think I've ever... Yeah, it's borrowed from French. I don't think I've ever seen anybody use it. But anytime you use a French-derived word, it sounds fancy. So, yeah, so I don't watch the Tour de France, but I like the idea of having a puzzle around it. And I would say that if this puzzle mentioned the Tour de France, it would have been way better. Yeah. Anyway, let's take a look at some stats. See how people are doing on this one. How are they doing? Still fairly early, but not right after this puzzle has come out, so this never seems to work that well for me. It's just me, or does this take a long time to load for other people also? Calendar always goes faster, but now the site is mad at me. Okay. Sorry, XW stats. Should I just... Let's just go to the calendar. It's just a touch under average. Actually, 10% faster than average. It's playing... It says hard, but 50% of users are faster than their average, and 50% of users are slower than their average. So, I think it's basically playing average, in spite of a couple of different difficult sections, I think. A couple of different difficult sections maybe is part of the theme. The Tour de France has a couple of difficult sections. Who knows? Anyway, let's move on to the Telegraph PlusWord and the New York Times Connections puzzle. Here's your spoiler alert for the PlusWord. There's a link in the description below. PlusWord's free to play. It's a British mini crossword meets Wordle at the end. And let's see if this will load for us. I could start loading connections also. Seems like connections will load just fine. Let's do it. Village song. A psalm maybe, part of a quilt. Patch. Patch could be style. Asian. Former Russian leader Lenin. Molten rock is magma. So, no, I was gonna say lymph, but that doesn't work. Lumpy? No. Because why? What's... Oh, because I spelled lumpy wrong. Okay. Like, why can't lumpy be the plus word? At sea, with both definitions, both lost and on the ocean. Yeah, both definitions of tying, I guess. Yeah, nothing too birdish today. Anyway, let's end as we always do on the New York Times Connections puzzle, where we try to make 4 groups of 4. So we got here today: scrub, maze, register, shock, hog, log, mop, cheer, tangle, weed, record or record, fund, friend, main, trimmer, journal. Okay. A main, a tangle, a mop, and even a shock can mean like a bunch of unruly hair. I think. I'm not so sure about shock, but I think I've heard people say a shock of hair. Let's see. Register, record, journal, and log can all mean like, you know, a record of events. And then what do we have? We have scrub, maze, hog, cheer, fund, friend, weed. Trimmer, cheerleader. Should we just not try to not try to do this in difficulty order? Just put in the ones that we know, which will be the 2 easy ones, I suppose. Those are the 2 easy ones. Okay, so now we can take a clearer look at the 2 hard ones. I think it's probably better watching for you. Scrubs is a show. Cheerleader, fundraiser are things that come to mind for some reason. Hog, whole hog. Hog tide. Hog heaven. Trimmer is interesting. Like a beard trimmer. Yeah, trimmer is very interesting. It starts with try, it starts with trim. I saw that. Weed starts with we. You know, we and trim both mean small in some way, but that's not it. Fund starts with fun, I guess. Trust fund? I don't see how the meanings are related to each other. Oh, you know what? Friends is also a show. So is Weeds, right? So is Cheers. Alright, so these are singular of sitcoms. Alright, there we go. So what is this? I should have gone on that TV show. Scrubs is a TV show thing. Maze Runner. Say things that can be tied up, but things that can be raised. I mean, no, you don't raise a trimmer, do you? You could raise a hog. You could raise a maze, like a hedge maze. Corn maze? There's not a corn trimmer or a corn fund, I don't think. Pork? Barrel funding? Refund? A maze? Hedge fund. It was hedge. Hedge fund, hedge maze, hedge trimmer, hedgehog. All right. The hedge blank. The fill in the blank being the purple. Theory survives yet again. Shout out to you, Jason Packham. Nice. We did in fact figure out all 4 connections. It wasn't as hard as I would have guessed. But it actually isn't a blank one. It's just words after hedge. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I'll see you tomorrow. No, I won't. I don't think I'll be able to see you tomorrow, but I'll see you maybe at some point in the next couple days. If not, I'll see you next week for some more puzzles. See you then.